Hello, all Tower Media fans. This is Josh, otherwise known as Agent Jones, coming to you here with another quick intro and some news for you concerning All Tower Media podcasts and All Tower Media stuff. So, first on the list here is the cards. Like I said last week, RN Roper is now tweaking the rules and will be presenting the cards to various card shops, cons, and friends, so we can finish tweaking things up for you and get that buy button available because we know you want those cards in your hand. Also, we have just recorded our first exclusive patron podcast. Back many months ago, back when we first started All Tower Media Podcast, Roper and I started it with just ourselves and expanded into the great things that it is today. But one of the things that he and I used to do was in between the Spoilercasts, we would record what we called debriefs, where he and I got the chance to break down what we maybe didn't get to in the episode previous. We would discuss things coming up in the future, as well as just kind of talk about other things that we just wanted to talk about. So those will be coming back. Now, the cool thing is, because they are exclusive, and the fact that we do sell stuff, like the cards, some shirts, some other things coming up, look for stuff from Made by Josie, we will be offering exclusive coupon codes just inside the exclusive podcast. Now, how do I get to listen to these great podcasts, you say? Well, you need to head over to patreon.com/alltowermedia, donate as little as $1, and you become eligible to listen to the patron podcasts. The debriefs are back, and they're there for our humble and awesome supporters. So, like always, we want to thank Spellbook Studios for offering up their awesome studio for us to record Spoilercast. I don't think without them it would be the show it is today. Also, D.A. Roberts, go over and check out his website, darkwaterfiction.com. It's a great place to check out his books, have links to where you can buy them, and as he adds more authors, you'll have access to those books as well. Be sure to also check out our Facebook page, mainly our homepage at alltowermedia.com, alltowerpodcast.com. They'll point you both in the same direction. Just don't forget to take a left at Albuquerque. For those of you that used to watch, Bugs Bunny. Anyway, moving on. You can get links to all of our wonderful things there. Links to our friend's stuff, Josie's Etsy page, our friend Adam, who has done legendary loot designs. He makes some really cool stuff by hand. I know that they have talked about actually forging things. They work with foam and metal and all kinds of different stuff. So check out their links. Our site is a great kind of catch-all for all the tendrils that we run our fingers into. You can find links to Spellbook Studios and Flick Freaks, our friend Andrew Ormsby and his crew, which some of our guys are appearing on their show on a regular basis. Roper, it will be guest hosting there coming up very soon, so be sure to listen to their podcast. But now, perk up your ear holes, boys and girls, for another All Tower Media podcast. Recorded most likely using Skype, some headsets, and some great audio recording software.
Hi, this is our newest episode of Spoilercast, Jareth.
Until 2 weeks from now.
And then there will be a new episode.
That will be newest-er than this one.
Exactly. So tonight I have an even more full room than I typically do. So I've got Jareth here to my right. Hi, Jareth.
Howdy.
Alex, you're sitting over there on the other side, aren't you? Behind the computer monitors where I can just barely see your eyes over the top.
Hello. I'm lurking.
Lurking. And as always, we have Dire Monkey on Master Control.
Yo.
I'm making my way completely around the room in a circle. Tonight, we're also joined by another member of the Spellbook Studios and business. This is Ray. Hi, Ray.
Howdy.
You've kind of been on the show before.
You've heard my voice a few times.
Where you've walked by and just kind of
Hi!
photobombed. We'll call it a photobomb. It's like an audio photobomb of the Spoilercast.
Audio bomb?
Audio bomb. Yeah. There you go.
Since there were no pictures involved at all?
That's like a photobomb, I said. It's similar in nature. And then lastly, I've got Seth, self-proclaimed greatest Call of Duty player ever.
Yes, if by that you mean I've crushed the souls of many Asian kids, then that's correct.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So tonight we're going to talk about video games, because I think most of us in here play video games, or at least have at some point in time or another.
I actually hate video games.
Do you?
We'll pretend.
Well,
Then you hate America.
you are. That's
How does that make you feel?
Hello?
hello.
Is my mic on?
Your
Yeah,
mic is
your
on.
mic's
Oh,
on.
okay, like I couldn't hear my voice for a second. Sorry.
Turn up his headset, so
All the way up.
till it explodes.
You counting?
He's counting.
Okay.
Everything's
Well-
fine. Just go about your business. It's all normal.
Act like you've done this before. 'Cause you've been doing it for 2 years now.
We have done this before. So, I kind of want to. I want to talk about not only just playability, but like stories and just good video games, because I know that there are some games that I've played that there's been people that just haven't heard of them, and I try to share them with people and things of that nature. And it's more than just the story. Sometimes it's how the game plays, and then there are other games where you play it and how it plays is just terrible, and you just don't want to pick it up ever again. I mean, it's got a story, but it's just ruined it for you. So I kind of want to go around and ask, I guess, first off, what anybody's playing right now and why we like it. So I'm going to kind of bunny hop around the room a little bit, because I already started with Ray earlier, so
Yep.
I'm going to start there. So, Ray, you said you're playing a couple of games right now?
Yeah, well, when you guys walked in, I was actually like doing a bender for 3 hours on Fallout 4, and I'm about level 30 and about 50 hours into it, and only halfway through the game, really. It's a lot of fun. That one I've been playing. I only play like 4 games, really. I've been playing that one, World of Warcraft, like for the last 10 years, on and off, and then and City Skylines. Really love that game when I just like am bored out of my mind.
See, I've never heard of that game. Alex, Jareth, anybody, Seth, anybody, you ever heard of City Skylines?
City Skylines. It's I think it's made by Sweden. I'm not too sure.
The
country.
country?
The whole country has made this game, so it's really cool and nice looking.
Lots of blonde people in
Efficient.
it.
Yes.
And smoked mackerel.
So what do you do in City Skylines?
Well, it's basically a city builder, so SimCity 4, but better.
Okay.
It looks nicer.
Ooh,
And
published by Paradox?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
publish a lot of really good games.
They're good. They're solid. Really, really clean games. And
Darn,
this is a very clean game.
Thank you for pulling that up.
That's what I do.
Oh, there you go. Wow. You're better at this than on our show.
Yeah, I know. The show has content.
Ouch.
By the way, if you don't get a chance to figure out what it is they're talking about, they do a show. It's Spellcast, correct?
Spellcast
Yeah,
every
Spellcast.
week.
You should check that out. Typically, we go around. We'll get into the plugs here after a little while, but
He means the butt plug.
yes,
Oh.
that too.
Oh, my.
We'll
He's
get,
about to pass
I
them
brought
out.
my own, so that's good.
well, no, yeah, it's pull yours, pass it to the left.
And he's a nerd, so he keeps it in a Crown Royal bag.
Ah.
And it looks like Darth Vader. So
Okay.
There you
Okay.
go.
Fantastic. So
the only way to
it's,
go.
It's a city builder game. It
Oh,
sounds.
it's more than a city builder. It's a city builder, but then also it's going to sound really boring, but a street simulator. So
Okay.
you have to like make sure you have the highways, and then you have to have your side streets, and like which streets go one way and which ones don't, and then like trying to make it so that your industry and your commercialization and your living space and your dumpsters and your
It's an infrastructure simulator.
yeah, it's
as
really
well.
wild. It's
So it sounds like it's kind of like SimCity, but with a lot more micromanaging.
yes, exactly.
That sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you really to like get the like a real good like feeling about doing something with it. You got to read all the forums. You got to go do the research. You can build a city, but you won't get very far, and so you have to like go and like figure. Oh, this is the best plan for.
Well,
my
I have
grid
a-
and stuff.
I have a master's in city planning, so
Oh well, yeah.
I don't
awesome
actually.
then.
That's a lie.
I was like, well, then you would love this game.
This just sounds like work.
and to think there are people out there that actually do that.
Yeah, I know. Thank God. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of jobs out there that thank God somebody's passionate about it.
The thing,
like taxes.
Right.
Fuck that.
The thing is that I am not. I don't know if you were all aware of this. I am not a city planner. Okay, but there is a cross street here in town.
Just to be clear, he does build cities. He just doesn't plan first.
Yeah, no, I just kind of hodgepodge shit together.
Whorehouse next to the ice cream parlor.
Exactly.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I can't find fault with it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I know.
They have crossover
see
Tuesdays.
We're going to see some titties, but not before we get some ice cream.
Exactly.
So
you can build up an appetite at those places. You want something next door.
So there is a cross street here in town of Swallowing Cocks. I don't know if many of you are aware of this. But there are a handful of you that are aware of this.
Yeah. I did know that.
I am a cop. I love making traffic stops at Swallowing Cocks. It's entertaining.
When you're writing that report, it's like a little moment for yourself.
Even our dispatch gets a giggle out of it because you're like, oh, I'll be out with a vehicle swallowing cocks. All right, clear.
In case anybody can't hear him clearly out there on the internet, it's Swallow and Cox, two streets that intersect each other.
One of them is spelled C-O-X. It's Cox, and the other one is Swallow. They intersect. It's fantastic. And
somebody planned that.
That is the point I'm getting at. There is some person behind a desk somewhere that said this is acceptable. This is probably the same guy that came up with the cocksucker days.
Yeah.
You're not familiar with this?
No.
You might want to explain something about that.
There's a hospital, Cox Hospital, and they give away suckers, and they are quite literally called cocksucker days. Yeah.
Magnificent.
How fantastic is this?
It's the gentleman's hospital.
And again, there's someone, probably got a suit and tie, sitting behind a desk someplace that said, you know what? That's acceptable. We're good with this. So, do you get to name your streets? And
you do. Well, I don't know about the streets. I know that you can Can you name the streets? Oh, I know you can I know you can pick the people out and name the people. It's tiny. They're little. On a city builder, you can name the city. You can name the buildings. So I guess the street. Yeah, sure. You can have cocks and swallows. You can have dick and liquor right next. Intersect there too if you want to. If you want to be heavy-handed about it.
Well, yeah. If you want to lay it on real thick, so people just. No, we're not pulling punches here. We're just going to let it happen. Yeah. So those sound entertaining, actually. I don't know if I would ever actually play City Skylines.
Pussy.
No, it's just not my thing.
It is a very zen kind of game to kind of play on that.
Does it have a win? Or does it just keep going?
Well, you could keep going. You could. I think the most someone has ever made. Well, you only have so much square footage, also, so you can pile on all the buildings and streets you want. But sooner or later, you're going to run out of area. Because I think they just made an expansion, not expansion, but a patch where they added 500,000 more, square foot area or something like that.
I know that I read somewhere that someone's playing. I want to say it was Civilization for.
Oh, I love that game too. That's another one. That's the fourth one I was trying to think of.
Is that the fourth one?
You're
welcome.
Thank you. I just haven't played in a while because when you sit down and play that game, 4 hours go by in a second. It's amazing.
Which one are you playing right now?
The fifth one. It's the newest one.
Not Beyond Earth?
I tried that. I've got it. It just didn't do it. Didn't do it for me. It was missing something of that history or something like the other ones have a little bit.
You're not getting attacked by Gandhi ever. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Gandhi killed me with nuclear death robots once.
You know what happened? You know how that was programmed in the original game. Gandhi was so peaceful they set it down to 0. But there's a thing in the game where you can set peacefulness down even lower. So when you make peacefulness with Gandhi, he got set down to lower, so it reverted back to the highest setting. So then he got threatening 250 or something like that. It was a weird programming error. So then you had Gandhi going hi Gandhi. He's like, I'm going to kill you all with nuclear warfare. What are you going to do now, bitch?
Age 1, everyone's still throwing sticks and stuff, and he's like, fuck it, we're throwing down
nukes. And so, but if that was the first one, they actually kept that joke going with the other ones. So in the fifth one, you can actually make Gandhi, a real dickhead.
He frequently is a real dickhead. Yeah. 9 out of 10 times that I've died in that game by way of warfare has been from Gandhi.
Via Gandhi. Yeah.
I stopped putting him in my games. I was like, fuck it, this guy needs to not be here.
He's
a problem.
Hateful little God bless. So, okay. Alex, what are you playing nowadays?
I don't get a lot of time to play, but currently I'm replaying Arkham City. That's a great game.
Yeah,
Never really gets old.
Was that the second or third one?
Second one.
Second one.
So I still
Yeah,
need
that
to
was
play
cool.
the third one, the Arkham Origins.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I've watched you play a handful of times, and I know that I've watched Mike and Jareth. You guys were playing Arkham Knight one night.
Yeah.
That's the newer version of that, correct?
Yes, it
That
is the
seems-
fourth in the series.
That seems a lot more fluid than.
They have only ever improved on the gameplay mechanics.
Okay. What do you like it about that game, Al?
I love the openness of it. Like,
Yeah.
I played Arkham Asylum, and that one was great, but it seemed very linear. Kind of steered you where you were going, and if you wanted to wander around, there wasn't much to find.
Yeah.
But then Arkham City, they really opened everything up a little more. There's a lot of side missions, and you can kind of choose your path and your timeline a little better. And then just the mechanics of it. It's so simple. The fight button, it's one button.
Well,
but
two.
Two for the counters. But if you want to get better, you have to use the timing. Then they add button combos later, and it seems to fit anybody's fighting style.
For a game with as simple controls as it has incredibly fluid, responsive, and especially cinematic combat.
Right.
Just like you feel like Batman. You're in a group of 20 dudes, and you're just wrecking everybody.
Is it true to the source material? But is
Right.
it true to Batman?
As far as I know, it seems to be. I'm not a huge Batman scholar or anything, but yeah, it does seem to stay pretty true to the source material.
Depends on what you mean by that.
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like I did the air quotes of like source material.
Now, when I was watching Al play the other night, Allie was pissed off at you because you weren't going out for a smoke break whenever you were going to fight the big guy, and I later found out he was referring to Solomon Grundy.
Me,
Solomon
Grundy.
Born on a Monday, christened on a Tuesday, married on a Wednesday. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you because you died like 7 times.
Yeah, that was
And
a
it
little
just
frustrating.
kept replaying the scene. So that seemed to be a lot of the frustration because as you were trying to move through that room prior to, your bad guys had just recently became equipped with thermal.
Yeah, they got the thermal sights, and they're all armed. They all got machine guns.
So it became more than just hiding in the shadows and jumping down on top of people. You had to actually sneak about.
Right. Yeah, you kind of have to use the room itself to plan
Well, it's
how
like-
you're going to pick these guys off without the others knowing. And
That is a sort of interesting mechanic they have in that game. I mean, obviously it's Batman, so stealth is going to be something. The stealth, like the combat, is highly stylized and it's very Batman flavored. So, like, every room has like these weird gargoyles sticking out. You're just like perched up on this Gotham gargoyle, and you're like, I'm in a room full of dudes.
That's how I design my house, though. I mean, that's
It is.
totally
It
legit.
is.
I build mine like something out of old adventure games like Resident Evil or some shit.
Yeah.
If you want to get to the bathroom, you've got to like find 5 pieces of a thing and turn it just right.
House
Yeah,
is filled
just-
with fog. Also, it's weird. Fog
yeah.
machine's always going.
About the time you find the last piece, a licker bursts through the window and tries to eat you.
Oh, there's always a liquor in my house. I keep one on staff.
Okay.
Food staff.
Whoever. You happen to be over, their community property.
Okay. Fantastic.
good to know.
So, I'm gonna jump over to Jareth real quick here because I know that you've been playing Fallout 4 as well, right?
Yep.
But you've also played Arkham Knight.
I've played a lot of games.
Yeah, you got time.
I have pretty much nothing but time.
What's your list of what you're currently playing?
Right now, it's a fairly narrow list. I was playing Fallout 4 for like nonstop for the first like 12 days it was out.
I'm about to say we lost you from reality for a while, didn't we?
I lost myself from reality. It's pretty great. I'm like level 109.
Oh. Here I'm like, I played for 3 hours and I'm level 30.
Yeah. What you say a bender for you is 3 hours.
Jared's sitting over here going, "You're adorable."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do 12 to 16. I go to work.
That was a.
I work short days. So I go to work. I come home. Fallout 4. Sleep.
I used to do that with WoW. I used to like wake up, play WoW, then go to bed.
I used to do that
Yeah, I
with WoW
used to do
back
my
when
weekends.
I played WoW.
Yeah, that was like 8 years ago when I did that. So.
That was your weekdays, too.
That was
yeah,
that
yeah.
was a rough time. It was a rough time.
Should I go to school today? Nah.
But most recently,
I
I've
think I'm
been
going to tap this mine over here. Actually,
Okay.
I had to.
You got it? You
I
good?
had
You're
to.
done?
I had to.
Okay. Most recently, I've actually been playing a game called Thea the Awakening, which is really fun. That's pulled me away from... I almost said WoW. I don't play WoW anymore. I was like my junkie relapse. Like, hey, man, could you pass the crack? Like at the dinner table, we were just talking about the bread.
So what is Thea the Awakening?
It's a strategy RPG game with some minor survival elements, and it's harder than a motherfucker.
And characters with really nice tits, I can see too.
Yeah.
Well, every game,
That's what I look for in a game.
Exactly.
Yes.
pretty much every game, whether it has tits in it or not, always chooses any picture that has tits in it to advertise. It's
like
True.
Duke Nukem meets
Animal
WoW.
Crossing with big tits.
It's got like a cow,
crossing.
just like
This kind of looks like Civilization.
it is not as much like Civilization as it looks.
Okay.
It seems very 4X, but it's not actually. You only get one town.
What are you playing this on?
The computer.
Okay.
It runs really well even on my shitty laptop, so that's a really because
Plus.
a lot of strategy games, especially now, for some reason they got it in their head to jump on the graphics bandwagon. You know, if you get better graphics, you can sell the game more often.
Right.
And bigger tits.
I really could not care less how good Civilization's graphics are. It makes the game run a lot slower. I don't need 3D models for the people who show up every once in a while to like tell me you suck. I'm like, okay, great.
Give me your technology.
So like this uses it's all hand drawn stuff. It's, notable, if not tremendous, art style, and it's got a lot of depth to it, which is I prefer games that are challenging and at least to some degree intellectual.
Okay.
That being said, I still also love the pure mechanical fun of like Call of Duty or Halo, just getting in there and
Which is
Where
why
you don't have to play for 20 hours a day.
That's what I say. That's why I'm saying.
well, I still do.
Yeah.
But
That's why I'm going to save that conversation for just a moment. So, this actually looks really fascinating. I think I would play something like this. Now, sorry, I'm not going to play the city skyline.
That's okay. It's not for everybody.
But this looks entertaining.
it has a very in-depth combat system. It's actually more like a card mini game, but
Okay.
it's interesting, deep, easy to learn, very difficult to master. So
Okay.
a lot of elements to keep track of, and that's something I always like.
A lot of stuff's kind of moving at the same time within the game that you have to keep balanced out.
Yep. Managing the resources of both your town and your away teams, because you can have as many as you want, and then making sure that people don't die, because it's got permadeath, so
Interesting.
which I personally prefer in games.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more logical sense as opposed to, like, you know, a person dies 18 times, and then later in a cutscene they finally die for really real.
Yeah.
Like, say, Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
Just every other time, like, oh, they got ran through with a giant spike the size of a planet, and you're like, fuck it, Phoenix down. Sephiroth, like, looks at them sideways once in a cutscene, and boom, they're gone forever.
What's the point of that character then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just lost them.
Hateful fucking people.
This way, you know, any given encounter, you fuck it up, you could be losing somebody.
Okay. Makes it a little bit more risque. Make you approach things a little bit more delicately.
Yep.
Rock on. I'm going to skip myself for the moment. Jump over here to Seth.
Yes.
What are you playing?
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yeah, how you like it?
Cod Blops?
Yes, Call of Duty 3. I mean, I enjoy it. All I play is Call of Duty. I've been addicted to Call of Duty since Modern Warfare. They really didn't do anything too revolutionary with this one, but it's still, like Garth said, it's just a fun game, you know, to play.
Yeah.
You don't have to play 10 hours a day. You can get on, you know, kill some noobs and go to bed.
Run
you know?
around,
No
and shoot
big
them
deal.
up, toss a couple of grenades, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the one that's got the bow and things in it?
Yeah, that is something different that they did. They have specialists, and each specialist has a weapon and also a specialist ability, and you can choose to play as any one of those specialists to kind of suit the game you're playing and the style that you play. And yeah, the bow is a pretty cool weapon. Most of the
Isn't it called like the Sparrow or some shit like that?
Yeah. And most of the specialist weapons are one-shot kill, and you got a meter, and over time it builds. But with every kill, and the more points you get, the faster it builds.
So it's kind of like your kill streak now?
You still have kill streaks, score streaks. They got away with kill streaks several games. It's
sorry.
score streaks, which I like a lot better.
That way, assists aren't just a big old sack tap.
Yeah,
Like, I helped that guy, I almost got all the kill, and then
you end the
got
game,
the kill.
you had 14 assists, and you just want to cut your wrists. You're
Yeah.
like, there was my Osprey gunner right there. God.
You would have got real kills once you called that in.
Yeah.
So you're just playing Call of Duty right now.
That's right. That's it. It's the only game I've played since Modern Warfare, except for Titanfall. I played Titanfall, and I have to say that was one of the most revolutionary first-person shooter games I've ever played, and it was amazing.
I wish
Call
it was
of
better
Duty-
managed, though.
Yeah, the servers were, it wasn't good. But the gameplay was epic and completely revolutionary, and I loved it. I was addicted to it, and Advanced Warfare completely ripped it off. And I'm a Call of Duty guy saying that. Advanced Warfare ripped off, everything.
With the piss poor, like, boosting thing?
Yeah, your exo suit and your exo jumps, which was just really annoying for anybody that's good at a first-person shooter game. Now you've got guys. The exo movements were so fast. You could be shooting a guy and he could exo dodge, and he's just the other side of the room. And it just gets rid of so much of the skill in first-person shooters.
Yeah, I tried playing that. It was fun for a little bit, but, like, normally, like, I can play a game for, like, 20 hours in a day, and I just have fun, and I'll do that for, like, months at a time. But I don't know. With that one, I rented it, and I was like, I'm done with this after a couple days. And there was just something lacking in the way the multiplayer handled.
Yeah.
That I put it down, and I didn't feel like picking it back up. How much of that game has carried over into Black Ops 3, like the mechanics?
Well, the last several Call of Duty games have been pretty much the same basic setup with your create a class and all that. It's still Black Ops 3 is still a futuristic game. You don't have the quote unquote exosuit, but you have a kind of a boost jump ability with a meter that goes down as you use it. So you do kind of watch your meter because it
So you
does
kind of like have a
rebuild.
jetpack then?
Yeah, it rebuilds very quickly. But if you try to boost jump twice, you can definitely fall off a building and die. I have done it, and it's very frustrating.
All right.
Those see, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
COD Blops?
That's yes.
Call it by its name.
Blah, blah. So I played it. Right now, I'm going to jump to me, but then I'm going to backpedal because I want to get a point from you as well as you, Alex. So I pointed at Seth here and Alex. I want to get a question there. Right now, I have been trying to play, but my Xbox is being hateful and telling me it doesn't recognize
I can
my discs.
confirm that his Xbox is a dick.
It
took us like 45 minutes to play Gears of War 3.
Yeah. So it says it doesn't recognize it, then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I recognize it. You want to play for a little while? And then like halfway through the Horde mode, suddenly it's like, fuck you, I don't work anymore.
I don't know you.
Who? What? What is this media thing that's just hateful?
Is this an Xbox One?
It's a 360.
You're poor.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Fuck that guy.
It's one of the white ones too.
Yeah.
It's one of the original ones.
Lord.
I managed to bypass the red ring of doom.
You got to take off the back and put some more RAM in every once in a while, like 64.
I got to do stuff to
RAM.
make it fucking work.
Yeah.
But it's hateful. But right now, whenever it chooses to work, I've been playing Civilization.
Good one.
Revelation, I believe is what it's called.
I don't know.
It's the one that was on the 360 that I was able to download. I like it. I've been playing Spec Ops: The Line.
Super great game.
Super duper great game.
What kind of game is
Very
it?
dark.
Easily one of the coolest stories in a first-person shooter I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because first-person shooters tend to be story light.
Yeah. This one, that's what it's about.
Oh, sorry, third-person shooter.
That's what this one's about, though.
Yeah.
Is the story.
The combat is still it's a
pretty-
third-person shooter.
It's pretty straightforward.
So they use pretty standard mechanics throughout, but the story is stellar and distressing.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic. It weighs on you quite a bit because, and of course, I gave it to Al at one point in time for him to play, and you played it for a little bit, and the mechanic of actually running around, sliding up against walls, shooting over the top of barricades, ducking out and moving forward and things of that nature. Most of it's pretty typical, for what it is. I do like the fact that with certain rifles, it'll give you this little halo out on the screen to give you an idea of where it is it's going to be pointing whenever you pop around a corner. But then there are other rifles that you get that, and when you have it equipped, it doesn't give you that option. So you kind of have to like hop over the top of your barricade and then find your target. But
it's interesting whenever a game can produce a story where by the end of it you're like, I'm okay if I lose. Like, I'm not sure if it's worth it anymore.
I know that particular game, there are 3 scenarios of win by the end of it.
Yeah.
On how it can end up playing out. Being Spoilercast, you have the choice of either, because you're standing here at the end of it, you're the only survivor, everybody else is dead. I mean, everybody else
pretty
is dead.
much everybody, yeah.
Not pretty much. Everyone in Dubai is dead.
I think there's still like 1 or 2 guys out there, maybe.
Everyone's dead. All of them have died. They're all either dead as a result of dehydration because you wrecked the tanker.
Yeah, you fuck shit up pretty bad.
Riggs is the most horrible human being in the entire world, and I am so glad they gave you the opportunity to blow his fucking head off, because those are your choices. You can either leave him to die and walk away from him, or you can shoot him in the face. Your call. And that's kind of the fun part about this game is it gives you those moments where you get to make a choice. And there's not a whole lot of games like that. We're kind of like with...
There are.
Well, there are.
Not usually this type of game
Right.
has that.
Right. Okay, I'll grant you that. Because it gives you the option of both. You can do one or the other. There's a moment where you have an...
Wait, you can't leave him to live and shoot him in the face?
No.
They don't leave any room for gray.
No.
Is there an option to shoot him in the dick?
No, because
That's the option I would
his
choose.
lower torso is actually trapped underneath the water tanker that you were trying to steal.
I left him to die under the water tanker.
I did both. I saved at that moment, and then I shot him in the face, and then I reloaded the scene and then walked away from him.
The guy's name is Riggs?
Yeah, his name's
Is
Riggs.
the guy trapped underneath the tanker named Murtaugh?
No. The guy that's under the
that'd be great,
tanker
though.
is Riggs. The guy that you're playing is Captain Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Walker. And Walker goes through a bunch of stuff throughout the entire game, and it makes him all kinds of dark and twisty by the time you get to the end of the story. And by the end of it, you're sitting here and you got your rifle, and these people are showing up to rescue you, and you're faced with another one of these moments where you can draw down on them, and when you draw down on them, they draw down on you, and you have a moment of dropping the rifle, shooting them, or shooting yourself, and you...
Jesus.
Yeah,
I pulled the trigger on myself.
It's
And the game gives you enough context where you're like, I'm good with
it
this
is
end.
by the time you get to that moment, he's exactly right. It gives you those 3 roads, and he says these are your choices, and you can pick one of the 3 of them. And the way the game plays out, you're like, I'm good with kind of all of them. All of them can all play out, and the story is satisfied in my mind. And
I would need like a video of like kittens playing at the end just to kind of relieve me of the tension.
it is a game that addresses cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Where
it really deals with...
your mission parameters when you arrive is to find survivors to rescue them.
Yeah.
And yet every person you find, you kill.
Okay.
most of the time...
counterproductive.
Most of the time on accident.
The way the situations arise, you don't have a choice. You're there to find survivors. The first group of people you find draw down on you, and you're trying to talk to them, and they're hostile towards you, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then finally, they're getting ready to shoot, and they open fire on you, and so you open fire on them, and you kill them. Well, then you start getting radio traffic from this guy with the damn 33rd that you're there to save, and he's under attack, and so you go to rescue him, and by the time you get there, he's wounded, and you've managed to clear out all the insurgents that are there, and so you rescue him, and he's talking about how this other guy that was with him got captured and he's taken someplace else. Well, now you're going to find that guy because he ends up bleeding out and dying. So you're still left with nobody at this point in time, but now you're on a new mission. Your mission is to save the 33rd because you're there for them. They're obviously under attack. There's something going on here.
It's a nonstop shit show from then on.
And it just
Sounds like it.
always goes
it just goes.
sideways.
It just, but it's a fantastic story.
All right.
And every time you hit one of these moments of this is where we're at. This is the mission parameters. We're here to find people and save people. Missions change. Now we're here to rescue the 33rd. Then it changes to, okay, well the 33rd's gone rogue, and now we've got to save civilians. And your mission parameters keep evolving.
Well, that's cool.
And as they keep evolving, you keep the other guys that are with you, your little pets that you have with you, they're sitting here questioning.
That's a kind of rude way to refer to them.
They're idiots.
Companions.
They're idiots. Okay, you got one moron that can snipe anything. You got another dude that throws grenades. That's like the extent of what they do. And
sometimes they shoot at things.
They might as well just hang on to their guns and give them to me.
Well,
because they don't hit anything.
The same is true of.
Give me that. I'll shoot you.
The same.
Carry these extra guns for me, and I'm going to run around and I'll do it. And when I need a gun, I'll come to you and you just switch me out. I really wish that that's the way it worked.
The same is unfortunately true for a lot of squad-based games in general.
Yeah.
AI, because there's a thin line to walk, because either you give the AI the ability to actually perform the job, and then you've got people who are just like, well, I'll just let them do the
AI
work.
do it. Yeah.
Or you've got AI that does nothing, and then people are like, why the fuck are you here?
Well, they're there to question your judgment on everything.
Thanks. I'll let you talk to me about what's going on once you pull your own goddamn weight.
They give you a situation where you have an opportunity to save a CIA agent, or you can save some of these civilians, right? And you have one of your troopers that's over here going, we've got to save the civilians. You got the other guy over here going, he's vital to the mission. We have to save him. And they're like, what do you do? And so you're like, and both of them are talking to you, and you're able to move, you're able to make a decision, and you can freely draw down on whatever group you want to. Whatever choice you make at that point in time, completely irrelevant. Because the CIA agent dies if you end up saving him. If you make that decision, he ends up dying. Doesn't matter. If you save the civilians, doesn't matter. They still kill him. It puts you on the same path.
Guilt is the recurring theme.
Exactly.
God.
It is a wonderful story, and I love how it's done because it literally removes the divide between the character in the game and you, because is it you making the choice, or is it the game driving you in a certain way? And it's very fascinating the way they did it, because it's really nothing like any other game that I've ever played.
Well, when it the mechanics of the giving you the choices make the moments where you don't have a choice that much stronger.
Yep.
Because up until then you're like, okay, well, I made this choice, I'm going to live with the consequences.
Yep.
I feel like a bit of an asshole for it because a lot of people died, and then later on situations come up where a lot more people die and you don't have a choice, and you're like, this is still on me.
Yep.
And you didn't have a choice, but you're still in that headspace.
But it makes it so good.
Yeah.
And every choice that I made throughout the game, I always boiled back to, well, it's the mission. The civilians, they sucks, but the CIA agent is the guy you need in order to be able to advance the mission. So I chose to save him, and I say, to hell with these other guys. Well, whenever it played out the way it did, I'm like, well, shit, that sucks.
Well, I think
so. I backed up and I tried to play it the other way around, and it didn't do me any favors doing it the other way around.
Yeah, you just now you feel like you screwed your mission.
Yeah. So,
but I think maybe we've spent enough time on Spec Ops.
Yeah,
we've now pretty much described the whole game.
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic game. So I was
check
wanting to
it
ask,
out. I was wanting
to ask a
brought
question.
to you by Spec Ops: The Line.
Yes, I was wanting to ask a question though. Alex, you've played Call of Duty up to and inclling
I've
everything
played up to
except
it,
the last one,
right.
the newest one.
I haven't played Black Ops 3 yet.
Which Seth, you have played.
Yes.
Can the two of you kind of give me an idea? Because I know that it's evolved quite a bit. Because I've played, like I said, Black Ops 2. And then I've been over at your place, Alex, and I've tried to play one of the other Black Ops games or Call of Duty games. And I was like, I feel like a fucking retard trying to play this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was completely useless. Completely useless.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear you guys kind of compare notes on the two, especially since I've only played COD Blops 1. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I played the one that was World War II back in 2001, I think, whatever that one was.
Call of Duty 1 and 2 were both PC only. I think it was 3 that was the first one released.
2 went to Xbox 360, but I think it was it was like a backup.
Okay.
And they went back and re-released it.
I gotcha. And Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare, which was the 4th Call of Duty installment, was really like the big game changer. They had the create a class system, which was a big deal. You could choose your weapon, your secondary, which now we're talking about it. We're like, oh, that's kind of silly, But at the time, that was a big deal,
Because before then, you started with what they fucking gave you.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You had like a selection of classes, and it was all preset. There was no created class. I think Call of Duty 3 and before, no created class at all.
It just opened up a plethora of customization for players, which is really part of the allure, of the game. And then, let's see, it went Modern Warfare, and then it went World at War, and it was the same setup. And then Modern Warfare 2, which is still my favorite Call of Duty of all time. It just really opened up a lot more doors. There was a lot more customization ability. You had all your perks. You could, once you got like so many kills with a certain perk or whatever they wanted you to do, it would upgrade to what they call a pro perk, which gave you even extra abilities with that perk. And, of course, at that time, Call of Duty had
I think it's pronounced properk.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't a pro perk. It was a proper. I apologize. They had a lot of gun balancing issues at that time that they don't have now. But, man, I remember Modern Warfare 2, and it took them so long to patch it. There were just so many guns that were so crazy better than everything else. You would just stomp everybody, Do you remember the Model 1887s?
Yeah, the 1887's
Akimbo,
and
Akimbo 87s.
Oh, my God. You could be across the map, and people would be killing you with those.
Just
awful.
Monstrous games with those, and then they finally patched it. Now, they're sending a patch out. It's like right now with Black Ops, they're sending like a patch every week out, small ones. They're not all gun balancing patches.
Okay. Are they just like server maintenance type things?
Mainly in a lot of map exploit stuff. I did the beta testing for it, and that solves like I'd say 60 or 70% of their problems. But there's just so many players, and all they try to do is find map exploits. Well, I can get up in this window, and then if I stand in this corner, nobody can shoot me. What I'm saying?
They do have their work cut out for them because once upon a time. Call of Duty wasn't a very vertical game. You can climb like a ladder, but you're stuck on the ground. Jumping was basically irrelevant. Now it's like, well, you can move.
A lot of the map is playable. Not trying to go back to Titanfall, go right back, but that was one of the great things about Titanfall. Call of Duty, 80% of the map or so is playable. Titanfall, I mean, the entire map is playable. If you
it's got to be because you're going to be in a big ass robot for some of it.
Yeah. And with this one, they introduced. It's not really revolutionary, but it does change the game.
The new Call of Duty.
Wall running, on Black Ops 3, they introduced wall running.
Always love parkour in anything.
Yes,
I mean it's frequently done really awfully, but
they should have called it Call of Duty Hardcore Parkour, which would have been really nice.
I would have liked that.
Yes,
they just do away with the fancy names like fuck Black Ops. This is hardcore parkour.
It's pretty much like parkour on the inner city of Chicago. It's like the same thing. So lots of guns and jumping off things.
Do people run around in parkour with assault rifles in Chicago?
Not typically.
I don't know.
Detroit.
Some guy's got a smaw and he's like running on a thing.
Al, what's your favorite setup? I know you probably custom build stuff. So
well, I kept playing the more current ones because my sister's husband works at Blizzard, and since Activision owns them, I get hookups all the time. I always get free versions of the game.
Yeah.
Can you slap him for working at Blizzard?
Right? Suddenly all of us are like,
I
wait,
can't
what?
slap him. He gives me free Call of Duty. So.
Un momento, por favor. Did you say Blizzard?
Did you say Blizzard?
I did.
Hello?
I did. But so I keep playing and I keep trying them out. But the last one I really enjoyed was Black Ops.
One or two?
The first one.
I really liked
everything
one.
after that. I like some of the stories. Like Black Ops 2 story mode was okay. I didn't really like that it was going into the future because I really enjoyed some of the Vietnam, the throwbacks in Black Ops.
Yeah, Black Ops had a great story too.
Yeah. And then Ghosts and Advanced Warfare had decent story modes. Ghosts was better, I think, but they were still, it's. They're only throwing so much at you because it's Call of Duty. How much can they make a story, as you would say?
Ghosts seemed kind of like a train wreck to me when I tried.
Yeah, the story itself, not anything that you'd write a book out of or make a movie out of. But I like
gameplay.
I like the unique places they threw you. Like before you know it, all of a sudden you're under the ocean and you're fighting sharks, and it's like that's kind of cool. It's different.
I don't want to fight a fucking shark.
Punch him in the nose.
That's what made it crazy.
That's my rule of thumb. I don't care what I'm armed with. Like I don't want to fight a shark. I'm in his home.
I was doing like an overnight duty in the Army, and I'm playing that game, so it's late at night. I've been up for 12, 15 hours already, and I'm bored out of my mind, and now I'm sitting here with this shark. and I'm trying to swim past it. It's just tension. The thing eats you like 8 times because you keep making mistakes. And fuck it, I'm having a cigarette.
Did you hear the Jaws theme song the whole time in your head?
No, I have a personal hate for sharks, so that made it even worse.
Doesn't your sister have a newfound respect for sharks?
Yeah, and we've argued several times over why no one needs to be in the ocean. There's no need. No need.
No, I mean, as far as places where people are going to die, there's like, the list goes space, the ocean, the jungle,
Australia.
Right.
Because everything.
then the desert.
Everything that's in Australia that's not you wants to eat you.
Well, everything, 9 out of the, like, I think it's 8 out of the 10 most poisonous anythings.
Period. Yeah.
The only poisonous
The
mammal
most
lives
poisonous cucumber is on.
well, sea cucumbers are often poisonous.
Probably in Australia. So,
It was just, with the Call of Duty games, though, the multiplayer, I started to feel it got very plain.
Repetitive.
With the difference with
that way.
Black Ops, you still had a few different weapons that you could override others. And I think with the weapon balancing thing, they've gone too far to balance everything out.
Yeah.
And they kind of lost that rock, paper, scissors edge.
See-
where one guy with weapon A can be beaten with weapon B,
I agree.
but you can beat weapon B with weapon C, and then weapon A beats C. You know, it
See,
kind of
now
makes it
that-
harder for
that
everyone to find
reminds-
their own personal classes.
That kind of reminds me of World of Warcraft to a degree, because there for a while they were trying to find a happy balance of.
They still are. They always are.
Rogue beats X.
Yeah.
X beats
they're
blah.
always changing something up where one's always on the top.
Yeah, there for the longest while. I back whenever I was playing, it's whenever they first dumped out the paladins.
Actually, that's a good question. Does everybody still bitch about paladin bubbles?
No, that's like not a thing.
They
any
actually
longer.
took them away.
They took
Yeah.
away paladin bubbles?
Yeah, it's Death Knights
Pretty
and,
much,
and
yeah.
monks now that people are all like, these guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like,
Death
yeah.
Knights have been bullshit since release.
Since day one. But no, because I back whenever they first came out, everybody and their brother was like, "Are you kidding me? They can basically toss up the shield and then fully heal themselves while they stand there going, 'Fuck you, asshole.'" And then they
Hearth
changed.
home.
And then they changed it, and suddenly hunters were able to burst those bubbles with an arcane round, and so they're like, shield, and you're like, and they're like,
I think with a lot of games like that, and along with Call of Duty, is that they're always trying to balance it all out. There's a really hard thing to do when you're developing a game to find where everyone can have fun and play whatever they want and not be the low man on the totem pole the entire time, or
How do you
the
guys-
Uber guy the
It's
entire
especially
time.
difficult whenever you're trying to balance off of what people are saying in the forums.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody's going to have some kind of hate for that guy who killed them,
Yeah.
regardless of if it was actually imbalanced.
Do they do the same thing with Call of Duty, where they kind of balance back and forth of like, this is the most powerful thing, or is it pretty even across the board?
You mean as far as the weapons go?
Yeah, weapons and classes, I guess.
Well,
that you
like
can
he
build.
said, now really they have almost overbalanced it, where it seems like all the assault rifles just kind of blend together.
What does it
And
matter if
same
I
with
use
the
a FAMAS
SMGs.
or a blah?
Yeah,
Right.
I do miss the old ones. You said for everybody to have fun. I don't want everybody to have fun. I want 86-3 and 70-2 games I used to have on Modern Warfare 2, just raping everybody. You know, nobody has that like a 3 KDR right now in Call of Duty that isn't playing, with a set team every day.
Right.
Nobody plays solo and has that kind of KD anymore. Nobody.
Now there was a YouTube video, a song that you sent me.
Well, I had pretty exceptional KDs playing solo on COD Blops.
No, I'm not saying that you don't have games where you have a 10, 15, 20 to 1 KDR. I'm saying you don't run consistently over 20,000 kills, a 3.0 KDR in Advanced Warfare, playing solo or Black Ops 3.
Does Noob over here need to know what a KDR is?
Kill death
death
ratio.
All right, murder, death, kill. Got it.
yeah.
MTK.
You work for a game company for
Yeah,
class.
but I don't play these kind of games. I'm really intrigued by all this.
Enhance your calm.
I watched that movie just a couple of weeks ago.
I watched it last week.
Yeah.
I'm watching it right now.
Whoa. And if anyone at home doesn't know what we're talking about, you need to watch Demolition Man. There you go. So
Shame on you.
So exactly. Dude, shame.
I do
Shun
have
the
a-
non-believer.
I do have I have a question about the newest COD Blops 3.
Okay.
Have they done anything to reduce or weaken the no scoping?
Oh,
Or like
no,
the
no.
quick scope.
Quick scope. Listen, You're always no. They haven't. There's a lot of quick scoping.
That's still
it
just
is really annoying. But when you go to kind of the end game summary, this guy gets just this insane kill on you 2 or 3 times with a no scope. When there's no way or a quick scope he should have got it. And they're always like 10 and 25. You know what I'm saying? They always run horrible KDRs. But you're always going to have no scopers and quick scopers. You're always going to have guys who quote unquote camp. I don't.
Well, if you're going to be a sniper, you kind of have to camp.
No, you know what? I mean, now you have all these guys making YouTube videos, and they just go around and just jump and spin shoot and do the craziest stuff.
That's what I was going to ask.
And it's only effective, they only get it one every 50 or 60 times, but they mash all that together and make these crazy YouTube videos and, get 1 million likes or whatever.
That's what I was going to ask you. You, at one point in time, Seth, had the video of the Call of Duty circus that you shared.
Oh,
with me.
yeah.
And it refers to the spinning snipers.
Yeah.
The hell is that about? Explain that to me.
I don't know what it's about. I don't see, why people like it, but they love to get those crazy looking kills that just look awesome on a playback cam, and then they put it on their YouTube video, and people are like, oh, you're so cool, and then they feel better about themselves, and they don't want to kill themselves anymore.
So that's it? It just looks good, just standing there spinning in a little fart circle with your sniper rifle cranking off rounds.
Until he finally hits somebody.
Oh, okay. That's retarded.
I'm far more pragmatic in my play style.
YOLO 360, no scope, 420 blaze it.
They've also made the map so much smaller. Like every game, the maps just get smaller and smaller, which it gives people, there's just so much more action, and people love that. But not me. I've always played really well in large maps where I can move strategically, and they still haven't taken care of, and they never will because the maps just keep getting smaller and smaller. Spawn deaths.
Oh, God.
If you haven't played Call of Duty, if you're not in hardcore mode and you die, you can see from that person's point of view who killed you. And it's so bad to see the person. We're talking like a 2.5 second blip here, 3 second blip. He's playing on a different part of the map. He dies. This is all in the kill cams, what they call it. He respawns right behind you and then immediately shoots you. It drives you crazy.
Like fun.
Poor spawn,
especially
freaking terrible.
Oh, man.
Poor spawn handling has been a plague in first-person shooter multiplayers for ages. And there's a couple of different camps on how to handle it. One is set spawns, but then if one person gets the upper hand, then they just sit behind your spawn and
they'll spawn camp you all day. That is why I prefer to play Domination. If you guys haven't played it, there's 3 flags. You get a certain amount of points every 2 seconds for how many flags you own. But the spawns are much more predictable. If I own A flag on this side of the map, and they own C flag on the other side of the map, they're not going to be spawning at A flag. They're going to be spawning at C. But then that opens up to spawn camping because people will own.
They'll just get around A, not take
it, and they'll just spawn camp the crap out of everybody.
Now, Alex, you and I have played quite a bit of Gears of War.
Right.
And you don't
Great game.
You don't run into a lot of that with Gears because it seems like no matter where the hell you are, wherever the furthest point is away from the other opposing team, it's like that's where you're going to spawn.
Well, that is if you're even playing a game type where you do respawn.
Right. Yeah, because I didn't play a lot of Gears 3 multiplayer, but 1 and 2, most of the time I was playing the one life, one shot. You die, you're done.
That's
and
true.
I actually kind of liked that.
Team Fortress always had a good balance of doing that, where they would have a safe zone basically, where there would be camping, but if you got a good team together, you would always be able to be a back and forth most of the time.
There's probably one of closer to my favorite first-person multiplayer experiences. I like Battlefield. Particularly,
that's a great game.
Particularly for Hardline. It was all right, but you get to choose where you're spawning. So if you know that there's a fuckload of dudes bearing down on the A position, probably don't spawn there. That's your call at that point.
Suicide bomber. They blow up so quickly.
Plus, whereas Call of Duty's been shrinking its maps and shrinking its maps, Battlefield's been doing the opposite. They're like, how do we make this shit bigger?
Yeah.
Because why do they even have sniper rifles in a Call of Duty game when the maximum range you're going to be engaging somebody is 20 feet? I could use a handgun more effectively.
Yeah, there are a few maps that are really good where they've made a good mixture. Like a great map for me is one with routes where if I want to run an SMG, I can run, I can move fast, and I can just rack up a lot of kills. Not a great KDR, but it's got a lot of long sight lines too, which is important in a map, I think, to have both routes you can take. If you're a fast player
Where
and you
it's
want to just get
zigzag
in, where you want to just get in there, go through different buildings and get to different spots on the map without being in the open, but also have open areas with long sight lines where snipers and people that like to play long range games tend to collect.
Personally, that's me in most first person shooters. I'll go for the sniper rifle, which is one of the things I like in Battlefield 4, because you'll have pretty much a mile's worth of range between you and an enemy at some times, where you're actually stressing the rifle's capabilities. So it's pretty cool. Plus, they've got like bullet drop and everything. So,
am I the only person that thinks that sniper rifles that aren't one-shot kill from the chest up, at least, are just completely useless?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you even use them?
Right.
I don't even understand why they're on the game.
Yeah.
Especially with how much they kick, I don't understand them.
They're assist weapons, or they expect you to always be able to hit the head. But frankly, I'm happy with just hitting.
Yeah.
I
know that whenever I was playing Black Ops 2, I set all of my stuff to just super fast. That was everything I wanted. I wanted to be able to...
sensitivity.
I wanted everything to run fast. I wanted everything to reload fast. I wanted everything to just fast.
So like you had the sprint thing.
Yeah.
I thought you meant your sensitivity.
No. I want everything to move fast. In game, I wanted it all to move fast. And then I used the double pistols, and it was the fully automatic ones.
Yeah.
CZ75s or whatever.
I would just haul ass around everything and just... just until I got mowed down.
And it was a lot of fun.
It really was.
That kind of strategy, you don't go on just massive kill streaks, but it's just fun.
You just run in little circles until someone kills you. And
respawn and get killed behind it again.
It's exactly, but it was I know it pissed a lot of people off because
who cares? And I've never understood.
Who
cares?
whatever.
A, it's a game, but B, I hate it. When you're on and people are like, oh, he's fucking camping. He's a camper. To me, there's
legitimate strategy.
That's right. There is no such thing as camping. It's a different strategy. I don't sit in a corner and wait for someone to come around, unless of course I know he's coming. But if there's a guy sitting in a corner and he's killing you repeatedly, then you suck.
Yeah.
Because there's grenades and there's ways
there
to get him out of there.
Instead of bitching, how about you learn to use a flashbang?
Yeah. I mean, really.
Step up
It's
your game.
called learning.
Change your tactic just a hair.
They give you the tools to deal with any situation.
And same with people, the grenade launcher, they call it the noob tube. The noob tube. And actually, on the new game, there are no underbarrel grenade launchers.
What?
Yes, that's right. They have gotten rid of underbarrel
people
grenade
bitched
launchers.
about them too much.
But once again, now I'll say in the hardcore mode, which is what hardcore mode
Hardcore
is.
mode's how I
pretty
play.
much one shot kill. The grenade launcher was, I guess it was a little bit cheap, you could say it, because the kill radius is huge, but everybody can use them. So. And put on flight jacket.
I'd say in hardcore mode, the grenade launcher was less useful because now your gun was a lot more useful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the damage radius is pretty big for the grenade launcher, but it's still big for grenades.
But
too.
if you miss that damage radius, I am going to kill you. Because it just takes one shot. And
it's pretty easy to miss with it.
By what you say on that. Grenade launchers, in those games, especially in hardcore mode, when you're using them from a long distance, it's a real slow travel. So you're up in the window, and you shoot it at me, and you might end up killing me.
But I'm going to get
first. I'm going to get ADS, and I'm going to shoot you before the grenade lands, and then we're both going to die. But it is what it is.
So
ADS sounds like a disease somebody is going to get.
You're going to get ADS. We are rapidly approaching the tail end of this. We're getting close to about our 5-minute marker. I know that. We're at it about now, roughly. So
this has been your Call of Duty podcast.
It's Call of Duty Spec Ops: The Line. So we got our moments here, but I think we've covered a pretty wide variety of things at this point. We didn't get around to it. I don't know how many of you have played. I would kind of guess that of the 6 people in this room, there's probably 3, maybe 4 of us that have played Portal. But it's one of those games that it's just really unique.
Amazing.
It is really amazing.
I'm not much for platformers or puzzle games, which that is both.
Yes.
But it's a very enjoyable game.
It really
it's a very
is.
pleasant experience.
Only surpassed by Portal 2.
Yes, which was really good.
These sound like porns. I have no idea what Portal is, but
you've got a gun that
noob.
You have a gun that literally you're stuck in a room. and you have to find a way to escape the room.
You have a
And
gun
you've
that
got a
creates
portal.
an entrance portal and an exit portal.
Yep.
Once you enter the entrance portal, you will exit the exit portal.
or whatever
So
you
you have
happen
to
to
use
drop
that
in there.
to-
You have
I
to
got
use
you.
that to get out of rooms and out of issues.
Portal 2, though, really shone
Oh.
because they just went all out with the characters, which
Yep.
were just batshit crazy.
The voice acting in that was phenomenal. Also,
Did you know that guy, the robot that takes over for Gladys in the second one? He's a comedian, and he is actually very funny. I've
He's
watched him on a
hilarious.
couple of different things.
Yeah.
So.
And then the guy who built Portal, whatever that structure was, whatever Aperture was,
Aperture,
That's
Aperture
J. Jonah
Science.
Jameson on Spider-Man. He's
Yeah.
that guy. I forget his name. Who won for the band director movie? What?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but
Fucking nobody knows what he's talking about.
I know what he's talking
He
about.
knows
I know
he
exactly
gets
who
me.
he's talking about. The guy that
Word salad. Word salad.
Word shotgun.
So before we do our tailing conclusion thing here, Dire Monkey, I know you've been playing some games here recently. What have you been into?
Here recently, Minecraft. Oddly enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I've been playing.
Other games have come out since 2005.
Yeah.
These are modded versions. Thank
Okay.
you. They come out with different modded versions that add different characteristics
Like
to
I-
questing and stuff.
I know that you had been playing Diablo 3.
Played a crap ton of Diablo 3 when they do the new seasons for the new ladder rankings. So we do that about every 4 months, 6 months, something like that.
And then you were playing not Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear,
Was it?
Metal Gear 5?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Phantom Pain?
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain,
Yeah,
that
playing that. Now I'm playing Fallout 2. So
King's Quest
2?
You played that
4. Also.
Okay. For
Two-
Fallout as
two
well.
is in
Yeah,
as
as
well.
well.
Yes. Okay.
Fallout 2 is an incredible game.
English hard.
It is. Yeah. I don't tend to stick with a game for a long period of time. I bounce around and come back to games. I play Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Diablo as well.
No, 2.
Diablo 2 was like
Actual
where
2.
it was fucking at.
Yeah.
Diablo Dos. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That game was the
great
fucking
game.
tits.
Yeah.
I played that at church camp on the PS2.
That's
PS1.
weird.
PS1 is PS1. Yeah.
Diablo?
That
Yeah.
sounds.
Was it Diablo or Diablo 2 that was on PS?
Diablo
Neither, I don't
Diablo 1 got released for PS.
That's
They
what I
they
thought.
released
Did it?
Hellfire.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
playing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and Episode 1 on the PS1. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Jar Jar Banks.
Yeah, that was wow.
Misa on Pisa.
No,
PS1.
no. Okay, that's where we end the episode. Shit, can we dub that out, please?
We can.
Okay, thank
You
God.
can't dub this out.
No, make it like a whole bunch of them mixed together.
Just make the whole episode that back to back.
Just constantly Jareth talking like Jar Jar Binks. So that I think we've covered kind of a lot of everything. A lot of gunplay, a lot of builders
Stuff things.
just stuff.
Yeah.
You
A
know,
lot of butt
but
play.
I think that I don't feel like there's not a bridge we didn't cross because the wide sweeping the categories that we did touch upon really every other game in some manner or another. I mean, we could sit here and toss out BioShock, but BioShock goes back to one of your first person shooters,
Yeah.
and then it boils down to your story arc. You can sit there and toss out Assassin's Creed and things of that nature.
Well,
And-
we
and-
didn't talk too much about strategy and
Yeah, that's
games,
true.
but-
Or
the-
Peggle. How about Peggle?
Never-
There
fuck
you go.
Peggle. Just let me throw this out here as my last thought for
Okay.
the whole thing. Fuck mobile gaming. I realize that's what you
no,
guys
wait a minute,
do.
wait a minute.
Hold on a
second.
second. They're letting us use their studio,
Well,
asshole.
it's been nice knowing you, sir.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast.
I know. I can't get behind most mobile games.
I do need to ask though. Do you guys have a lot of balancing issues with
Oh, yeah.
You can't make anyone happy.
Yeah,
we've learned that
the Infinite
very, very
Black.
quickly.
I mean, okay. So Critter Catch. Is there anything that you have? I mean, is that a?
When we do the game testing and stuff like
Play
that,
testing it.
we
Yeah.
bounce back and forth. The cat runs too fast, the dog runs too far.
There's
the
not enough animals to pick it
yeah,
up. Yeah.
Not enough coins. The
And these are complaints that you hear from the people that are playing, and then you
Yeah.
incorporate patches in.
It's too hard for me to jerk it with my right hand while I play with my left hand.
Yeah.
and in games like the Infinite Black and Rings of Night, there's because it's such a PvP competitive game in Infinite Black, there's constantly players bitching on the forums and saying this drive is too powerful, this gun's too weak, I can't do anything. The heels are too weak. Movement, it's constant of tweaking numbers and balancing.
But Ozzy
yeah.
and like the other programmers have done very well at knowing, the rock paper scissors you were talking about before,
Yeah.
of keeping that balance of like this thing kills this thing, but it circles back.
Now, is this stuff that's being sent in directly to you all, or is it you all actually fanning out to forums and
Both.
reading?
Yeah,
We've
a
got
little bit of everything.
our customer service reps that'll get the emails, mostly the bitching emails, and then there's the forums that have
That's
the,
what customer service is
Yeah.
for.
God bless them.
Then there's the forums, which is more of the open discussion. People actually participate. We are very responsive to customer debate, really. We're one of the more open to customer sharing in the mobile market.
Yeah, like on Google Play, like the ones that gripe the hardest and give the 1 stars, we go, hey, thanks for the advice. Here's what we can do for you. Tell us some more.
Oh, that's good.
Very,
a
like,
lot of
Real quick, talking back to them and everything.
a
So
lot of mobile
responsive.
gaming companies are just like, well,
Eat a
thanks
dick.
for your money. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So
We appreciate that.
and the forums are really good also because it's responsive, but also it's a lot more. They're nicer there a little bit, They're actually people who like playing the game and actually want to give feedback and not just be like, why am I not winning so much?
Right.
Our games aren't really designed for that, 10 to 15 hour playthrough. It's people that will come back to it day by day.
That's
So
one of my
you have to
primary
listen to those
problems
Yeah.
with
No.
mobile gaming.
Our games aren't Candy Crush and those other,
I wish it was. We could be rolling the money right now.
Well, yeah, and I could own my own strip club and everything would be great.
Right next to an ice cream parlor.
Exactly.
No, a mac and cheese truck.
That'll be out in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's true.
So now that we're probably past our marks here, but
You are.
you want to make sure that you get over to spellbook.com, check out all their stuff, because you guys got a lot of fun things to check out, new things rolling out all the time.
4 on the App Store and 2 to 3 in production right now.
Yep, in the pipeline.
So you got stuff. Always be watching out for them. Check them out on Facebook, all that good business. Get over to our website, spoilercast.com. So we got stuff. We got Spoilercast. I believe it's Spoiler Podcast, I think is what Josh titled it as. Either way, you can get to it through alltowermedia.com.
How often do you guys do this? Every week? Every 2 weeks? you
Every
said?
2 weeks.
All the time.
Josh and I are Josh does Agents of Sir, which is Secret Identities Revealed, and they do everything comic related.
You had me at comic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. They've got a really good show going.
They
and,
only talk about comedians.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, that's cool too, I guess.
Yeah, whatever. No, they do that quite regularly. I'm on with them occasionally. So we do that. We have this show. Eventually, we'll get back around to doing Diecast, which that's just kind of on hiatus at this point in time.
I guess, yeah.
Some D&D or
scheduling
something, or
issue.
what?
It's Fate. It's the Fate system.
Fate system,
Yeah, it's actually really entertaining. I'm liking it. We did a 3-hour recording for it a while back. Mike's been doing the edits for it. It's kind of challenging with his schedule right now. Mike and Jareth are also participating with another group of people that we've had in with us on occasion. Andrew Ormsby over there at Flick Freaks.
The good old freak flickers, yes.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that would be
Speaking of those guys, we got to get them on Spellcast after Star Wars.
that. We got Star Wars rapidly approaching.
There will be things need to be said after that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've got stuff coming up. You want to make sure you check us out. Get over to darkwaterfiction.com. Check out the author D.A. Roberts, who puts out the Ragnarok Rising series. He's also done a piece of work for you all.
Yes, he has.
He
Yeah.
did the Lost Legion Perdition's Flame.
So that's worth mentioning. I also want to mention our good friend Dan Jones. What's the name of his book again?
Propitiation.
Propitiation. See, I can't say that word really well.
I just got my copy in.
Did ya?
It's got the
black
pages.
Yeah, it's got black pages. I love it. It's beautiful.
It's a misprint, but it's an incredible misprint.
Yes,
it
it
looks
is.
great.
It printed white text with black pages. It's awesome.
That'd be hard to read.
It's really cool.
Okay,
it's
that's
really
cool.
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 It's a really dark book.
Especially,
so.
I was about to say, for the content of what the story is, it fits. So Dan's got some good work out there, and make sure that you get over to our website. You can check out all of the guest hosts that we've had on with us in the past. Get out, check out their stuff. A lot of people putting out a lot of good things. Our good friend Jackie Gagne Rand, whatever her name is right now. She's got like
I don't know her last name.
100 names.
Stop looking at me for
I'm looking
confirmation.
at you. You were in the room while she was here.
Yeah, I've met her that one time.
Doesn't matter. I do want to mention that Allie is going to be a regular host on with us moving forward. You know, we're going to have her back in here because she is entertaining, to say the least.
Copycat.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We added a female host to our show about 3 weeks ago.
I was
Oh,
unaware.
did you guys trademark it?
Oh, yeah?
Yes, we did.
Oh, well, crap. We should rethink this as a business decision.
Any female in front of a microphone, you owe us for.
From
now on.
We'll pay you in like 1/32nd of a cent.
You
So
will get a cut of our profits, sir.
you get a percentage. I do want to say thank you to Seth for being in with us tonight. I know you took out some time to come over here and hang out with us and yammer about video games and such. So I appreciate you being on with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hope we can find another topic you fit with and have you back on again sometime.
Yeah.
So, Ray,
What up?
thank you for spending some time. We pulled you away from
It was
Fallout 4.
Yeah, doing nothing on my Sunday.
So, boys and girls, this has been an excellent episode. I appreciate everything. And thank you once again, Spellbook Studios, for giving us a chance to come over here and do a recording. Hopefully, Jareth didn't screw that up too much. So,
No more than usual.
Wait, what did I do?
How dare you, sir? Whatever you did.
saying screw mobile gaming apps. Quit beating it. Quit baiting it. Stroking his penis. Anyway, be
Go away,
safe.
baiting.
We will see. Go away, baiting. See you in about 2 weeks.
Is that our bye?
I love turtles.